All right, let's dive in. Today, we are heading high, and I mean high, into the Himalayas. We're going to explore one of the most mysterious and sacred sites on the entire planet, the Amarnath Temple. And believe me, this isn't just a story about a place. It's a journey right into the heart of faith, nature, and mystery that has lasted for centuries. It sounds like a riddle, right? Something straight out of a myth? But what if I told you this isn't just some philosophical question? Because believe it or not, deep inside a remote mountain cave, a divine form really does take shape. And it's not carved by human hands. It's created by nature, by the cosmos itself. It's a phenomenon so powerful, it draws hundreds of thousands of people into one of the most difficult pilgrimages in the world. So, at the very center of this whole Amarnath mystery is the one thing that gives this temple its sacred power. In fact, it's the entire reason the pilgrimage even exists. Okay, so picture this. Inside a massive cave, about 40 meters high, something incredible happens. Water drips down from the limestone roof, and as it hits the freezing cold floor, it slowly builds upwards, creating a perfect solid column of ice, a lingam. Unlike idols in basically any other temple, this one is a miracle of nature, a direct manifestation of Lord Shiva. And right next to it, two smaller ice formations pop up, representing the goddess Parvati and their son, Lord Ganesha. And just think about where this is happening. We're talking about an altitude of almost 13,000 feet. The cave is tucked away in the Litter Valley, totally surrounded by glaciers and snow-covered peaks. It's actually covered in snow for most of the year. And here is where it gets truly mystical. The ice lingam doesn't just appear, it's like it breathes in sync with the cosmos. It starts to grow around May as the snow begins to melt, and it reaches its full height on the summer full moon, usually in August. After that, as the moon's cycle changes, it starts to shrink until it completely melts away. This connection to the heavens is absolutely central to its divine status. So you have to wonder, how did this incredibly remote, hard-to-reach cave become one of the holiest sites in Hinduism? Well, the answer is tied to a divine secret, the Amar Katha, which means the story of immortality. The whole legend really kicks off with this one profound question. Parvati wanted to understand eternity, so she asked Shiva the secret to his immortality. He loved her so much that he agreed to tell her. But a secret this big, this powerful, couldn't be revealed just anywhere. To make sure nobody else could overhear, Lord Shiva went to, incredible lengths. On his way to the cave, he systematically left behind every companion and every symbol of his power. And today, each of these spots has become a sacred stop on the pilgrimage route, marking a moment of divine sacrifice. But there was a twist. Before Shiva told the story, he created a fire to destroy any living thing nearby. But he missed something. A pair of pigeon eggs hidden under a rock survived. They hatched. And as Shiva spoke, the two little pigeons heard the entire secret. And they became immortal. To this very day, pilgrims swear they see a pair of pigeons in this impossibly cold, high-altitude cave, a living link to the ancient legend. Now, you might be thinking this is a great story, a powerful myth, but it's more than that. This pilgrimage isn't some new thing. It's ancient, with written records stretching back for well over 1,000 years. You can literally trace this place through the centuries. A 12th century history of Kashmir explicitly mentions the pilgrimage. Then, in the 16th century, the court historian for the Mughal Emperor Akbar wrote about the cave and, you guessed it, an ice image that waxes and wanes with the moon. Even a French doctor traveling with another emperor in 1663 wrote about a cave filled with wonderful constellations. The story has been remarkably consistent for centuries. So what if you wanted to see this marvel for yourself today? Well, the journey, known as the Amarnath Yatra, is an epic undertaking. It's a true test of both physical strength and spiritual dedication. Pilgrims basically have two main choices. There's the traditional Pahalgam route. It's longer, about 43 kilometers, and it takes 3 to 5 days. It's more gradual, more scenic, and it follows the same path Lord Shiva supposedly took. Then there's the Baltel route. It's way shorter, only 13 kilometers, but it is incredibly steep and tough, often done in just one day. So you're choosing between a long, meditative journey and a short, high-endurance trek. And let me be very clear, this is not a casual hike you can just decide to do. It is a highly organized, tightly controlled event. You have to register months ahead of time, get a medical certificate proving you're fit enough for the climb, and there are even quotas for each state. And for safety, every single pilgrim now gets a trackable RFID card so their location is known at all times. This journey is a test of so much more than just faith. It's a head-on confrontation with nature at its most raw and powerful. And it's a test of your own resolve in the face of some very, very real dangers. Let's just talk about the scale of this for a second. In its peak year, 2011, over 634,000 people made this journey. And remember, that's in a season that only lasts about 45 to 60 days. The logistics of managing that many people in such a hostile place, it's just staggering. And to protect all those people, thousands of armed forces and police are deployed every single year. They secure the entire route, they manage the checkpoints, and they stand guard against both the dangers of the environment and the threat of terrorism, which has unfortunately targeted this pilgrimage in the past. These are the realities that every single pilgrim accepts. The weather can turn on a dime. High-altitude sickness is a serious risk. Flash floods and cloudbursts are a constant danger. Tragically, there's a history of terrorist attacks. And of course, the physical toll of the terrain is immense. This is not a journey anyone takes lightly. So, that brings us to the big question. Why? Why do hundreds of thousands of people, young, old, fit, frail, knowingly face all of these extreme dangers year after year just to reach a temporary ice formation in a cave? You see, for the people who make this journey, the difficulty isn't a downside. It's actually part of the point. The hardship of the journey, the austerity of it all, is a key part of the spiritual experience. It's a physical challenge that reflects their inner quest, a powerful testament to their devotion. And at the end of it all is the ultimate reward. The belief is that just seeing the ice lingam in person, having that sacred darshan, cleanses you of a lifetime of sins and gives you the chance to achieve moksha. That's liberation from the endless cycle of death and rebirth. It's a chance to touch eternity, the very secret that was first shared in this cave. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? In an age where we've engineered so much comfort and convenience into our lives, the pull of this incredibly difficult pilgrimage seems to just get stronger. Maybe it shows us that there's something deep inside us that needs to be tested, a need to find out what we're truly made of, both physically and spiritually, by seeking out these places where heaven and earth really do seem to meet.